And there's aces. Oh my gosh. Look at all these horn bets coming out. Are you parlaying your horn bets, right? And there's another aces, the dots. Oh, oh my gosh. Come on, shooter. Here we go. Are you flipping kidding me? Hey everybody, welcome back to Mark the Point. It was asked in my last video, what is my favorite way to play craps? So here is my answer to that. My favorite way to play is not how I teach. So I typically teach regression. I'm actually more of an aggressive player when it comes to craps. I'm usually pressing several times before I regress, but I understand the risk of that. However, I don't like to teach that way because people aren't always set up like that. People like to have a lower bankroll, lower risk factors. So when I typically teach craps, I like to teach regression. So here's how I'm going to answer that subscriber's question on my favorite way to play. I'm going to say this is my favorite regression style play. Now I'm going to do this at a little bit lower level of bankroll and a little bit lower bets. Typically, I like to play this exact same system at 110 on the inside. So basically, this is if you want to call it skill 66. However, it is not. It's modified. So what we're going to do is we're going to go out there for 64 across. Okay, so 64 across. We're going to use somewhat of a same concept as a skill 66. However, we're going to be doing this all the way across on all the numbers. And I'm going to show you kind of how this works out. The idea here is on a typical skill 66, it's just like it says. It's 66 on the inside. Right here, we don't have 66. We have 44, right? So the idea on the skill 66 is you hit an inside hit, you press it up 22 inside, which makes it 88, and then you regress back down to a lower level, which puts you 100% in profit. Now, I'm going to have that same concept. This is going to be a $10 table. So if you notice, all my bets are basically set up at $10, except for the 6 and 8. Those are at $12 because that's a proper bet. $12 increments of 6 on the 6 and 8. So the idea here is go 64 across, but you need 3 hits. The reason why I like to go the 4 and 10 included on here is because it's really hard to get 2 inside hits a lot of the time. There's many times where you say I want to get out the hand or get the 2 hits, and you never see the second hit on the inside. You might see a 4, an 11, a 9, another 4, and then a 7 out. So where you could get 3 hits across, but you can't get 2 inside hits. So adding the 4 and 10 to this really helps you boost your ability to get those extra hits on the outside to be able to get out the hand. Now, I want to show you how I'm going to play this because it's a little bit different than maybe something that you're accustomed to. But here we go. So any of these bets on the inside, so that's the 5 through 9. When we talk about the inside, the 5, 6, 8, and 9, they're all set up at $10 and $12. Each of these bets will pay you $14. So let's say it pays you get an inside hit. We're going to wait for the point to be established. Let's go and show that real quick. Let's wait for the point to be established before we make any bets. So once the point's established, you place your 64 across. Now, if you get an inside hit, we'll call it the 5, right? The 5 is going to pay me $14. The first thing I'm going to do is press up my 6 and 8 and just collect those $2 and go back to the rack, okay? So now, basically what you have is you have your 2 numbers pressed up. The 6 and 8 are pressed up to 18 each, okay? Your second hit, it doesn't matter which one it is. It could be the 4 and 10, which would pay you 18. The 5 and 9 will pay you 14, or the 6 and 8 will pay you 21. It doesn't matter. Either way, let's just call it the least probable number or the least bet paid number. Let's call it the 5 and 9. Either one of these will pay you, again, $14. Remember, $10 will pay you 14, okay? Or 15 for one, either way. But what we're going to do is we're going to press up the 5 and 9 this time, and we're going to put this money back into our rack. That's $6 back. Okay, so that's your second hit. Now, on your third hit, we're going to take the hit, we're going to regress all the way back down to base, and we're going to pull our 4 and 10. So it doesn't matter which one we hit. Let's just call it one more inside number. It could be the 4 and 10. That'll pay you 18, or the 5, 9, 6, 8. Either one of these will pay you. These will pay you inside, will pay you 21. The 4 and 10 would pay you 18, okay? However, let's just say we get another inside hit. That's going to pay me $21, okay? So what's going to happen is I'm going to pull all these bets back down to base, and I'm going to pull the 4 and 10, okay? So I'm pulling these bets down to base. So basically what you're telling the dealer is take me down to 44 inside. So you're regressing all your bets. So now you have 10, 12, 12, and 10, okay? That's 44 inside. And remember, you started with 64 across. That was your initial bet. That's your initial layout. So if you do that, look at how much we have here. That's 25, 50, that's 64. That's your initial bankroll coming back to your bet or back to your bank. And it looks like you have $5 here in profit with a $44 inside bet working for you. Now, you have several options. What do you want to do when you have this inside bet? Do you want to go a full press regress? Do you want to do a single press? Here's what I would suggest. If you don't have a big bankroll and you can't take the risk of losing $64 on a $500 bankroll, just do a single bet progression or increase. Let's say if the 5 hits, that'll pay you $14 or 15 for one. Let's call it 15 for one. They would take $1 away. You would take it up to a $15 bet and you collect 10. Then next time it'd pay you 21. So progressively betting 1 unit at a time. Tell them, press me 1 unit. That's a proper way of asking how to press. And that's basically a best way to do this. Now, again, there are different situations where you don't get totally out the hand like you did on this way, because remember, we took some of the bets that wasn't pressed up. But if you hit a 4 and 10 on several of those options, then you're not going to be totally out the hand on the 3 hits, but you are going to regress with basically being close to out hand as possible. Okay. All right. We're going to try to roll this out. We're going to see how we do. Again, this isn't my favorite way to play, but it is a great regression that I would definitely love to show that teaches people the discipline to be able to regress your bets, to be patient on low bankrolls and be able to get out the hand, yet still be able to take advantage of some rogue rolls if they're set up for you. All right, guys, we're going to roll this out and see how we do. Let's see if we can make some money on this 64 regression system. All right, guys, I hope you enjoy the content. Let's roll it out. All right, here we go. We're all set up. I have a $500 bankroll. I have 400 in greens. I have 100 in reds. We're set up, ready to go and see how we do. Again, the first thing we're going to do is get a point established. And here we go, shooter. Let's go. All right, it's going to be the easy 8, the 6-2-8. Okay, let's mark the point on the 8. It was an 8. We're going to drop down, tell the dealer, say 64 across. So that's 50. Let's go at 65, 50, 60, 70, or let's go at 65. 65, they're going to give you $1 back because remember it's 64 across, okay? And so they're basically going to set you up just like that. It'll be $10 on everything, and of course $12 on the 6 and 8. Now, if you know anything about the way I like to teach, I do not play the pass line unless I'm absolutely have to, or if I am the shooter, then you do have to. Otherwise, we're just going to play box numbers, no pass line, no don't pass, just straight up inside bets or bets across. All right, and here we go. Let's go, shooter. Okay, that's going to be aces. That's the dots in both places. No help to me. Snake eyes. And there's, how about that? Turn them upside down. That is the 12 craps 12. Still no help. And that's the 5-1-6. Okay, easy 6. Perfect. Okay, that's going to pay me $14. 12 pays 14. What I'm going to do is I'm going to press up the 6 and 8 first. Take the $2, go back to the rack. Okay, so let's put these into the rack, straighten them up. And now that's the first hit. Get another hit. Let's press up the 5 and 9. And I see Yo 11, mid-mo Chiro, no help to me. And there's a 3. How about that? Turn them upside down. Look at all these crap numbers coming out. See a horn, bet a horn. This is like, what, 4 in a row? And there's the hard 4. Okay, that's great. So that's going to pay me $18. 10 pays 18. So what we're going to do is we're going to press up, in this case, the 5 and the 9. Press up the 5 and 9, and the rest of this can come back to the rack. This is all coming back. Looking for one more hit. That's what we need. And there's an 8, easy 8. Perfect. Okay, 6-2. So that's a $15 bet. That's going to pay me 21. Okay. At that point in time, remember, we're going to regress everything back down to base. We're going to pull the 4 and 10 down, and we're going to pull these down by 1. You can always say, you know what, keep a couple dollars for the dealer in case you want to worry about the dealer bets for you because they are up and down. however you want to do that, okay? So that is the point. Let's go and turn off the point. And now we're set up at 44 on the inside, okay? And how about that? That's a 437. There's a 437, but the point is off, which is a good time to hit it. We definitely don't suggest working our bets when the point is off. And that's going to be the hard 4. Mark the point on the 4. And here we go, guys. We got $44 on the inside working for us. We're going to do a single unit press, and here we go. And there's an 862. Perfect, okay? That $10 to $12 will pay me 14. Let's call it 15 for 1. How about that? We're gonna call it 15 for 1. I guess you probably have to drop down $1 anyways for the press. So I'm gonna go up 1 unit and put the rest of that back into the rack just like that. Let's go ahead and grab some more singles and some more reds. All right, here we go. All right, let's go, shooter. And that's gonna be a 10 down there on the end. Big Ben, no help. And there's a 963. Okay, perfect. Again, that's going to pay me 15 for 1, if you want to call it that. 15 for 1. The actual bet is 14. We're going to press it up 1 unit, rack the $10, and there we go. Boxcars 12, no help. And there's a 532. That's the pair in the tray. Okay, again, that's going to pay. Let's call it 14 this time. 10 pays 14. I'm going to press it up 1 unit and rack the rest. Okay, come on, shooter, let's go. And there's a 9, beautiful. All right, that's a $15 bet. That's gonna pay me 21. Okay, again, we're gonna go up 1 unit at a time. Never hurts to slow play it here. Okay, keep it going. A lot of inside bets so far. That's a 1, 2, 3. Craps 3, no help. And how about that? Back to back. Let's go and shake up these dice a little bit. Okay, here we go. And that's the 527. Of course, you shake them up, and there it comes. All right, guys, that is the 527. That's going to be the one that you don't want, right? Let's pull all these bets back. Let's get all set back up again. And let's turn the puck off, okay? So let's go ahead and another point. We'll get a point established, and then we'll set our bets out, okay? And that's going to be a Yo 11. And how about that? That's a 639 center field. Okay, perfect. Let's mark the point on the 9. Let's drop down 66. That's 50. That's 65, 64. Start down 64, sorry. 64, I'm going to give you $1 back, okay? And we'll set it up at 64 across. Again, that's $10 units on everything, 12 on the 6 and 8. Remember, 6 and 8 have to be proper bets, just like that. And we are ready to roll. Actually, I got 15 on there. Let's pull that one back. Here we go. Now we're ready to roll. That's 12, craps 12 right in the corner. No help. And there's a 5, the pair in the tray. That is the waitress. That's going to pay me $14. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to press up the 6 and 8 first. Okay, 6 and 8 can go to 18 each. Put the $2 back into the rack, just like that. All right, here we go. And that's the 549. Beautiful. Okay, here we go. 5-4. That's going to pay me again. Another. We call it 15 for 1 this time. I'm going to drop $1 there. I'm going to press up the 5 and 9. Put the red chip back into the rack. And last hit. Let's see if we can get one more hit. That is the point, by the way. Let's turn off the point. And there's a Yo 11. No help to me. And there's a 426. Okay, let's mark the point on the 6. Looking for one more hit. Here we go. There's another Yo 11. Wow. A lot of horn bets. And there's a 314. Okay, we'll take it. We'll take it. Again, this is the point where you're not going to make as much money because it's not one of those inside press bets. However, you're still going to make $18 off of it, and we're still going to go ahead and regress the bets down, okay? So these bets are going to come down. These bets can go back down to base, and just like that, okay? So I'm going to pull that one back. So now, again, everything's at 44 on the inside, and let's go ahead and do that now. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and print 25, 50, give you 2 greens instead. Pull my red chips back, and that's also a red chip. Let's make it look like $10. Beautiful, just like that. All right, and we are ready to roll. We got 44 on the inside, and we're ready to roll. Here we go. And that's gonna be the 9, the center field, 6-3. It was a 6-3. Okay, that's gonna pay me. Let's call it 15 for 1. I'm gonna press it up 1 unit, make it go to $15 there. Pull these back. That is $100. Go and grab my red chips. Give you back $100. Put that back into the rack. All right, and here we go. That's a 516. That is our point, okay? Yeah, that's going to pay me $14. Make it look like 14, and then let's go and press it up 1 unit. That'll look like 18 there, and this will all come back to the rack. Okay, let's turn off the point. Let's do it all over again. Here we go, shooter. Let's go. It's going to be on the 5, the 415. All right. Let's go, shooter. 8. How about that? 5-3. Perfect. That's going to pay us $14. Okay. And what we'll do is we're going to press it up 1 unit, put the rest of it back into the rack. Looking pretty good so far, right? And there's another 5. How about that? We've hit the point, the 4-1. We got a shooter here. That's going to pay us, call it 15 for 1. Press it up 1 unit, pull the $10 back into the rack. And let's turn off the point. Just like that. Point's off. Come on, shooters. It's going to be on the 10, a big bend down there on the end. Now, at any point in time, if you want to spread out to the 4 and 10, you are 100% able to do that. It depends on how aggressive that you want to be with your bets. Totally up to you how you want to do that or when you want to do that. Okay, here we go. And that is our 10 back there on the end. Buck shot the point, right? Turn the puck off. And it's going to be on the 5 again, 4-1. Okay, that's a no field. Mark the point on the 5, and let's go, shooter. And remember, this is an up and down. Back on the 5, that's the wagers, the 4, the 3, or 3 and the 2. Okay, that's going to pay us 21. Okay, let's turn off the point. That's going to pay us 21. Let's make it up to a $20 bet. And this here is going to come back to the rack. And if you look here, I got a lot of reds, a lot of whites. Let's see if we can turn them into some green chips, right? Here we go. And it's going to be on the 9. A lot of inside bets here. How about that? And that's going to be a 3-1-4. Big Joe, no help. And there's another Yo 11 Midmo Chiro. There's an 8-6-2. Perfect. All right. That's going to pay me 21. Okay. 18 will pay me 21. Go up one more bet. That's going to go up to a $24 bet. Put this money back into the rack, just like that. All right. It's going to be the hard 10. Girl's best friend. No help to me. And there's a 5-1-6. Beautiful. Look at the inside bets here. Okay. That is going to pay me. It's what is that? That should be an $18 bet. It's going to pay me 21. Okay, at this point in time, you've got some money into the rack. You've got some good bets out here. You can go ahead and cover the 4 and 10 if you want to. Just put the dollar back into the rack. That way you have everything covered all the way across. Not a bad move to go ahead and get payment on everything. And that's going to be on the 5, the 4-1. Okay, that's going to pay me 21. Okay, press it up 1 unit. Put the rest of it back into the rack, just like that. I was going to make some change. That's $20. Going to make that look like 20. Oh, not do that. All right, so I got $20 coming back to my rack, and this is $100. Go ahead and change these up while I have a second here. $4. All right, so that looks like 100 now. All right, and let's make this thing go. Here we go, shooter. It's gonna be back on the 5. Check us out. Now that is a what are we at? We had a $25 bet. So now that's gonna pay me 35. At this point in time, you're doing 1 unit presses, but once you get to the green chip levels, in this case, that is a green chip there, you can actually start doing it by 10s. In this case, you can make that look like 35 and still take that quarter back to the rack just like that. It's a good press once you start getting to green chip level, going up 2 to 3 levels instead. All right, here we go. And that's going to be a 9. How about this? We got a shooter. That's going to pay me $21. Okay, go ahead and press it up, make it look like 20. Put this back into the rack. Let's turn the puck off. And at any point in time, if you want to regress down again, pull some of this money off the table. That's up to you. However, I've already recouped my money. I'm back in the profit. Now let's just go ahead and roll it out, okay? And that's going to be another pair, another 3-2-5, excuse me, the pair in the tray. All right, let's go, shooter. And that's a hard 10. Okay, check us out. That 10 will pay me 18. Okay. At this point in time, I'm basically just going to go up to a $20 bet. Actually, sorry, $15 bet. Make it like 15. Put the rest of it back. Just being a little more conservative. Okay. Never hurts to be a little bit more conservative. There's an 8 for 5-3. Okay. That's a $24 bet. That'll pay me 30 for 2. Okay. That'll pay me 30 for 2. And what you can do and do here is actually go and make it look like 30, just like that, and pull the rest of this back. Okay. It's a good little smooth move. Make it look like 30. Good little exchange there. And that's going to be another 8 back on the 8. Beautiful. That's going to pay me 35. Again, this point in time, go ahead and go up to 2 unit presses. Make that 35 look like, or 20, whatever it is. Make that $30 bet look like 42. Looks like 42. And you're still collecting a green chip back into the rack. And if you want to load this for now, just to show you, we started with $500. This is my initial $500. Everything you see here is profit. Everything you see here is profit. So you know where you're standing if you can see where you're at with your initial bet, okay? So again, any point in time, if you want to regress down, you say, hey, that's a lot of rolls. It's totally up to you how you want to do that. And there's your 4, 3, 7. I probably shouldn't have said let's regress, but hey, it is what it is. Let's pull these bets back. Had a pretty good run there. And let's see how we can do here. Let's try this out for another shooter. Again, this is the, I don't know if it really has a name for it. Again, the Skill 66 has its name. This is a 64 across, which is a little bit different than your Skill 66. However, it's still same exact concept. So if you're going 64 across with all the bets. All right, that's going to be the hard 8. That is the square pair. Let's mark the point on the 8. And we're going to drop down another $66 or $64. 50, let's call it 65 for 1, which is 64. And let's get that set up for you. Okay, here we go. 10, 10, 10. Remember, your 6 and 8 will be at $12. All right, just like that. Straighten these up a little bit. All right, looking for 3 hits. Can we get 3 hits? Come on. No, we don't. We do not get 3 hits. That is a 6-1-7, or as they call it, that is a 0.7 out. Okay, ouch. So we're going to pull all these bets back. 64 across, down the hole. Let's pull the bets back. Let's do this for another shooter. Let's turn the puck off. That is part of the game, guys. A 0.7 out. Stay tuned for a future video because I may try the 1 count to see how many it saves if you do a 1 count bet, okay? So stay tuned for new videos. That is going to be a new release coming up. Okay, let's go ahead and mark the point on the 6. And let's drop down another 64 across. In this case, I'm going to go 65 for 1. It's going to be 64 across. Okay, let's set it up. Just like that. Perfect grab there. And we are ready to roll. Let's go, shooter. And there's a 3-1-4. Okay, perfect. That's going to pay me $18. 10 pays me 18. What I'm going to do is I'm going to press up to 6 and 8 first. Okay, 6 and 8 is going to be pressed up first to make them look like 18. And the rest of this can come back to the right. Okay, hit number 1. There's back on the 4 again. All right, another $18. Okay, this time we're going to press up to 5 and 9. Okay, put the rest of it back to the rack. Looking for 1 more hit. Can we get 1 more hit? That's what they always say. 1 more hit. That's boxcars 12. We're not looking for that one. Looking for the bet to cross in the box. There's a yo 11. We're still sweating bullets. Butt clenching here. Here we go. Come on, shooter. And there's another yo 11. Oh my gosh. Turn my bets off, right? No, we're not going to turn our bets off, but some people do. And there's aces. Oh my gosh. Look at all these horn bets coming out. Are you parlaying your horn bets, right? And there's another aces, the dots. Oh, oh my gosh. Come on, shooter. Here we go. Are you flipping kidding me? How many times does that happen? Y'all see me shaking them, right? You see me shaking up these dice. So this is real rolls right here, okay? Come on. And there's a 6. Whew. How many aces was that? How many horn bets were there? Would you parlay those bets? Oh my gosh. Okay, that is a 6. That's going to pay me $21. That is our last hit that we want. So we're going to pull everything back down to base. That's what we're looking for here. Take everything back down to 44 on the inside. Let's see if we can straighten these up just a little bit. Make it look a little bit better. These are going to come back. Let's go and pull 25, 50. Let's put those back into the rack. Grab us 2 greens instead. And put these bets back here. Okay, that was a 6. Let's turn off the point because that is our point. And let's get another one set. Here we go. All right, it's going to be a yo 11. No help to me. Come on, shooter. That's a 5, 4, 9. Okay, let's mark the point on the 9. This is probably going to be the last shooter. And let's go out from here and see how we do. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, craps 3. And there is your 5, 2, 7. That is a 5, 2, 7 ouch. We're going to count it up, see how we do, see if we made some money. Let's go ahead and pull these bets back and see how we did. All right, here we go. Let's turn the puck off, move these dice out the way. Remember, we started with $500. That was our initial investment. Guys, this is $500, okay? Let's go and count it up just to show you. That's 100, that's 200, that's 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's our initial investment. So everything here is profit, okay? I'm going to show you it's 50. Let's go ahead and pull these over, make it like 100. All right, that should be 100, but let's just show it just for the camera here. 1, 2, 3. So 25, 25, 50, 75, 100. So that's 100, 150, 160, 170, 175, 180, $183 profit. Hey, I'll take that, right? Started with a $500 bankroll, made 183 bucks. Hit a lot of inside bets, which really was helping us out. Started pressing them up a little bit. But again, 64 cross, spread them out, build it up, hit 2 or 3 hits, pull it back down to base, 44 inside. Guys, that's a good way to be able to reduce your bets and stay in the game, okay? All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this content. Again, this isn't my favorite way to play. However, it is a great regression style to play on a low risk, low bankroll. If you're playing craps at a small level, this is probably a good way to do it. Okay, guys, if you've enjoyed the content, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Put a comment down below. Hit a like button. I'd really appreciate it. Almost at 10,000, and I'm excited for that. All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the content. Until next time, mark the point and stay awesome.